go.
Let's go.
Let's record.
Boom.
What's that?
What?
What are you doing?
We need to... I'm really disappointed you haven't got headphones on checking the sound. That
No.
I can go boom.
I don't know whether we can do that on this setup.
I can get you some headphones.
I've got headphones. Don't worry about it. I don't know whether we can. I just don't know whether we can do it on this. No, it's okay. Don't worry about it.
Both your ears.
Hello folks, welcome to The Games We Played, a YouTube series in which we look at really old games. Just like us, we're not games, we're people.
Yes.
But we are old.
You're right.
I'm Andy.
Hi, I'm Dan.
And Dan, you're going to talk to us about Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat.
Hit me. I mean,
no, you hit me. You talk to me about
I
Mortal
bleed
Kombat.
easy. I bruise easy. So.
This game here, specifically the
Mega Drive version.
Mega Drive version.
I didn't.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I've been a long time since I've held a Mega Drive box. These were chonkers, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Better than like SNES ones were like cardboard. And whereas
You
this
look at
one
what
is...
you're trying to destroy, Sony.
Oh yeah.
Look at what you're
don't
trying
get
to
me
destroy.
started.
Look at this.
I mean, I've got to be honest, it has an instruction manual, which is the most pointless instruction manual, but it does have a section at the back for notes, so you could write down all the special moves. And
I had Mortal Kombat on the Game Boy because I was a pauper, and
I didn't talk about that.
I didn't have a big boy console, and the Amiga version hadn't been released at that point, so I had to get the Game Boy version to get my home Mortal Kombat fix. And I'm pretty sure I wrote stuff in the manual. I just wrote notes against each character as to how to pull off their moves.
Good shout.
For what it's worth on the Game Boy version of that game. Right, Mortal Kombat.
Yes. What is it about?
What's it about? What's Mortal Kombat? And when did it come out?
Fighting. It came out, checks notes, 1992.
That's earlier than it. I feel like that is earlier than it should.
That's pretty early. So
I feel like I was a lot older when Mortal Kombat came out.
No, it's a really weird one because I remember Mortal Kombat. My first experience was on the arcade.
Yes, and
then I found out it was coming out on Mega Drive, and by that point I had a Mega Drive.
Right.
And I was like, "Oh, this is amazing." And in essence, Mortal Kombat is a beat 'em up where you are one of like 7 people entered in this tournament. It's basically, if you've ever seen the film Enter the Dragon, and everybody should watch at some point Enter the Dragon because it's an amazing film, right? It's basically Enter the Dragon with magic and supernatural elements. You basically just beat people up.
Yeah. 3 heroes go to... I mean, this is basically the plot of the 1993 film as well, isn't it? 3 heroes go to an island controlled by a madman to enter a tournament, martial arts tournament.
Yes.
And defeat the baddies. And that is the plot of Enter the Dragon, and it's the plot of Mortal Kombat.
Yep.
But Mortal Kombat has magic.
Mortal Kombat has magic and a 4-armed guy called Goro.
I mean, that's basically Bolo Young in Enter the Dragon, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean,
But he didn't have 4 arms.
He didn't have 4 arms. Yeah. No, he should have done that. Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't have made you can't make the film any better. No. But timeless. Yeah. So, but the backstory is that if Shang Tsung, who is like the big bad, if he wins this tournament and his champion Goro is like unbeaten for something ridiculous like 500 years, then he will take over Earthrealm, which is basically here. Earth,
where we live
right now
in the UK at present,
technically, but he would have everything, not just UK.
We'd be terrible in Mortal Kombat. Could you imagine if Mortal Kombat was specifically like the UK and they come here and look for heroes and it's like,
if it us,
yeah.
Oh, we're all doomed.
We're
doomed. Like,
just take it all now, Shang Tsung.
Yeah, I bruise easy.
Yeah.
So, Yeah, so that's the basic story, and it
Yeah.
came out around the time that the only other beat 'em up that was massively popular was Street Fighter.
Yes.
And that is a brilliant game.
Street Fighter 2 is fantastic.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
But the thing that made Mortal Kombat different was, and I use this in quotes,
Yeah.
photorealistic,
Actual people.
actual people. And at the time,
I mean, it's
it was like stellar. It
Yeah.
was like awesome.
But I mean, like, so this was at a time when there was a lot of this going on. And again, like, my memory of this stuff is slightly skewed because my brain is now aged. But I always kind of think like, oh, Mortal Kombat and Pit Fighter around the same sort of time. But actually, Pit Fighter came out way before that. That was late 80s, wasn't it?
Way before that. And
that,
the original Street Fighter was like years.
Yeah. But Pit Fighter had that kind of like that photorealistic kind of like, we photographed a bunch of people on green screens and we're cutting them out and putting them into the game. Yeah.
Mortal Kombat was a bit more next level.
Yeah. I mean, the quality was a lot better for a start, and the game was better.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So you had these like almost, it was more realistic.
Yeah.
So Street Fighter were very cartoony, you know, whereas Mortal Kombat was more, it was trying to be more grounded and like more realistic.
Because what's more grounded than being able to rip a man's spine out?
Oh, yes. Now, that was one thing that made it different.
Yes.
Was the fact that it was incredibly violent. Like, I mean, Street Fighter,
for the time,
you beat people up.
Yeah.
Oh, for the time.
For the time,
this was because consoles were still marketed more at like younger age groups,
Yes.
Mario, Sonic, you know, Alex Kidd and all that kind of jazz. Whereas this was a game for grown-ups, really.
I mean, it was a game for teenagers. They knew what they were doing. They knew what they were doing.
We were around that age.
Around that age at the time.
So,
yeah.
Enough said about that, the better. But yeah, so once you beat somebody, because there's a story about how fatalities came around, because some beat 'em ups, there was like, you could beat up your opponent and there was a period where they'd be dizzy and you could just basically hammer them. Like, if they were like, oh, staggered, bang, 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 beat you. And the people that made it hated that feature.
Yeah.
So what they thought is, well, why don't we make them dizzy, but right at the end?
Yeah.
And then have something called a fatality.
Yeah.
I mean, for anybody that's played Mortal Kombat, I'm like, basically, you know all this, right? But fatalities were very new because, like you say, you could rip a man's head off with his spine, or pull his heart out, or like, you know, burn him to a crisp, or like a variety of other things.
I mean, what I remember more, that was the kind of the hook for Mortal Kombat. That was the main thing, and I do remember that kind of those hushed tones around the playground when someone you know had been to Skegness and gone into the arcade. Skegness is a seafront town for anyone not familiar or outside of the UK, and obviously one of the big things about UK seaside towns is back in the 80s and 90s, big with arcades, lots of arcades. And it's like someone had been to Skeg at the weekend and come back and gone, oh, I've seen this new game. It's got one of the dudes from Big Trouble in Little China in it, and he can electrocute someone's head off. And it's like Street Fighter. But yeah, no, I think at the time it was I think the whole hook of it was that, because I don't think technically, you know, going back to it, I love Mortal Kombat. I love the Mortal Kombat series. I love the mythos. I still play the games today, even the kind of the more recent ones. Fundamentally, Mortal Kombat is a less complex game than Street Fighter 2.
Oh,
when you dig into it, every character is basically the same and has the same basic moveset. Just executed slightly differently.
Well, it depends which version you play. So the Mega Drive, obviously 3 buttons. And what made it different is that most beat 'em ups, if you pushed back, you blocked.
True.
Whereas on this one, you had an actual block button. So Mega Drive, it was punch, kick, block.
Yes.
But yeah, some of the moves were like forward, punch, forward, kick.
Yeah.
Like, I think one of Scorpion's was
back, forward.
down, back. Oh, sorry. Yeah, down, back, and a button, and you'd teleport across the other side.
Yeah.
But then it would have like an extreme one. Like, there's a character called Kano. You'll know him if you've seen the films. But what he's got like a cannonball.
Oh yeah,
But you basically had to go all the way round.
Which I guess on the arcade, when you could do that with the stick, was a lot easier. But on a
Mega
controller,
Drive, oh my word, because it's literally like a four
Yeah.
directions.
Yeah, it's like Zangief's spinning pile driver in Street Fighter 2 is a similar move. I could never pull that thing off on a home system.
Oh, but it did have like a game-changing move, Mortal Kombat, right? That was either the greatest move ever or the most
I know
frustrating.
which one you're going to say.
Leg sweep.
Oh, the leg sweep. I thought you were going to talk about Johnny Cage's nut punch.
Oh, the split.
Yeah.
Well, allegedly, that originally when they designed Mortal Kombat, it was going to be a beat 'em up featuring Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Of course, yes.
And for whatever reason, that didn't go ahead. So they basically like, well, you know what, we'll have an homage to him.
Yes.
And that's going to be Johnny Cage.
Yeah.
So greatest actor in the world, Johnny Cage. But yeah, and he did the.
Yeah.
Was it Bloodsport that Van Damme did it?
Yes, it was Bloodsport. They eventually did get Van Damme in Mortal Kombat, though.
Did they?
Yeah, Mortal Kombat 1, one of the downloadable skins is Jean-Claude Van Damme, and he did the voice for Johnny Cage.
I forgot about that one,
yeah, so they did eventually get Van Damme into Mortal Kombat, just not at the time they wanted it.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah.
Sounds about right. But yeah, so like so when it came to like the controls, they designed it specifically to make it quite simplistic and like straightforward and kind of stuff like that. So, but interestingly, this was around the period that there was no regulation around video games.
Yes, yeah, we didn't have like the MPAA or the PEGI ratings or anything like that.
Yeah,
and certainly arcades were quite unregulated, weren't they?
Yeah. So Q. Right, Mortal Kombat console release, Q, everybody losing their minds.
Every adult losing their minds. Every teenage boy was like, oh my god, this is the best thing in the world.
So what they did is when they released it on console, they removed the blood. So on the Mega Drive, no blood. Still had fatalities, but no blood. The SNES version, no blood, sweat. And they actually, on the SNES version, they changed a couple of the fatalities, right? And because parents were like, what are you doing? It was Midway that made it.
Midway made it, I think Probe Design did the ports for the Mega Drive and the Amiga versions, didn't they?
Yeah, I think it was Acclaim did SNES.
Acclaim did the SNES ones, yeah.
So, but now this is where things become genius, and we're going to dig a little into the joyousness and the weirdness of the 90s, right?
Yes.
I'm going to talk about something that will make you reminisce a little bit, but I don't know your experience.
No.
Right?
I think I know what you're going for.
There was a way on the Mega Drive to unlock the blood, right? Now, before we've done this,
exactly what this is.
You know exactly.
I've got it committed to memory.
It's one of those things, like I can walk into a room
and I've got an anecdote for this that you may have forgotten as well.
Probably, yeah. So, but I literally forget dates. Like I've never had a good memory. But there's one thing that I remember, and it is the cheat code to unlock the blood on the Mega Drive.
Yeah.
ABAC. ABB.
Abacab.
Yeah, there's a reason for that. And I only found this out recently.
Oh, okay.
So it's Abacab because that's the name of an album by the band Genesis. And in America, hello to all our American viewers, the Mega Drive was called the Genesis.
Yeah.
That's just genius.
That's crazy. That is insane. I did not know that was why they'd done that. That's really cool.
Yeah.
But what I remember, the reason that I remember this is because when the Mega Drive version, because all the home versions of Mortal Kombat were released on Mortal Monday, weren't they? That was the big thing. Mortal Monday. Mortal Monday. When all the games came out. Me and you were with both of our families in London when they were out. And I remember they had a Mega Drive running a copy of Mortal Kombat in Harrods.
I wrote that down. Yeah. I totally remember that.
So for if you don't know, Harrods is a really posh department store in London. Yeah. Very posh.
Why did they let us in?
I have no idea. But they had this Mega Drive running Mortal Kombat to try, and we turned the blood code on. Because that was the edgy thing you did in the 90s.
Just so you know, I don't think either of us were teenagers, weren't we?
Probably on the cusp.
Yeah.
I might have been a teenager at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because you're well old. So
yeah, thanks.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
just before you go, oh my word, like traumatizing the youth of yesteryear, like we were
the youth of yesteryear.
We were just traumatizing ourselves.
They knew what they were doing with this game. This was marketed entirely to teenage boys.
Oh no,
this game was like, you know, I think it epitomizes everything about the era when you go back and look at the original Mortal Kombat, because I don't think it quite has the edginess of like the later Mortal Kombat games. Certainly, I think they've gotten a bit more edgy as they've gone on. They can be a bit more realistic with the violence. But I think it had that kind of really brash action movie vibe that the 80s, particularly the 80s, had when you look at like, you know, Schwarzenegger, Stallone, those kind of sort of like action movie stars. And I think Mortal Kombat encapsulates that as much as it does like the Bruce Lee sort of stylings and Van Damme stylings. But yeah, it is a great game. Yeah, I think I'd always go for Street Fighter 2 above Mortal Kombat, but Mortal Kombat has a special place in my heart.
Yeah.
Just because of the aesthetic and the vibe.
Yeah. I played a lot of this.
Yeah.
I played a lot of this. So but the way that it was kind of like laid out the game, so you'd pick one of 7 characters, unless you're on the Game Boy, but we will talk about the Game Boy because we need to. And so you had all these seven characters, and then what you would do is you'd face the other 6. Then you'd face. It was almost like a handicap match where you had to face, like they called it endurance.
Oh yeah, there was 2. Was it 2 enemies?
2 enemies. So it was any of the 2 out of the 6. Then there was a mirror match.
Where you face yourself.
No, was it the mirror match and then the endurance?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which was the way? So you face yourself, and then you'd face Goro, who was this like 4-armed champion of Shang Tsung. Yeah. And he was like, so all the other characters, they basically filmed actors doing all the moves and stuff like that, and then basically animated those. But Goro was stop motion. He was created by stop motion.
Really good. Yeah.
Really good. Yeah. And then you had Shang Tsung, who was like this wizard who would just morph into each of the other characters.
Which was a nightmare for some of the home versions.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was a bit of a pain.
Being able to having this character that could turn into any of the other fighters, you know, when you were porting that down to systems with less memory, I think there was like, I don't know what it was like on the Mega Drive, but certainly the Amiga version, which was the one I eventually had, I think he could only turn into the character that you were playing as.
No, the Mega Drive he could turn into like different ones. Yeah.
I guess working off like a cartridge, a ROM-based cartridge, you've got better access to the memory that those characters are stored in. Technical stuff.
Yeah. Sure, we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
So that was the Mega Drive version. The SNES version was actually the better port. So graphically, the SNES version was much better.
Yeah.
And it had an awesome opening.
Yeah.
So the Mega Drive, because if you sit them side by side, it almost looks like they're from different eras. Because the Mega Drive one is very kind of
I think the Mega Drive one's slightly faster than the SNES, though, isn't it? Doesn't it run slightly faster than the SNES?
Little bit, but not massively.
Yeah.
But they looked visually amazing. Because right at the start, you turn the SNES one on, you got the Acclaim logo, and Goro just stomps out and punches it, which is brilliant.
As you do.
But the SNES version, what they did is they turned the blood into sweat.
Yeah.
And there was no cheat code.
No. Right. Well, it's because Nintendo were kind of at the forefront with, like, I think Andrew Lincoln from Nintendo. Andrew Lincoln?
He's an actor, isn't he?
Yeah. I think he was like one of the kind of the people that was involved in like the campaign against like this video game violence, because there's that very famous like Senate hearing around the time where they're talking about like Mortal Kombat, and I think Andrew Howard sounds about right.
We will verify.
Yeah. Howard Lincoln. There we go. We got there in the end. It's like 6 degrees of separation, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
It's one of these.
Of these combinations of names. Yeah, Howard Lincoln, I think, is the guy from Nintendo. But he was quite adamant that Nintendo would be a family-friendly console forever, and you know they always had this kind of like image as like this family-friendly console. So I think from the word go, they were not getting that game in that format. But how did that do for sales?
Well, like sales-wise, like I genuinely I'd love to have that information to hand right now, but sales wise, no.
Can you not find any information?
No, I didn't. Like when it came to sales, I didn't even think about it.
You didn't even think about
but
it.
What I can tell you about the SNES version,
is
that there was a way to make the blood appear.
Right.
And it was magic.
Was it using a Game Genie?
It was using a Game Genie right now.
Effectively palette swapping the sweat.
Yes. So, right, for any of the uninitiated or for anybody born after, like, I don't even know what year.
2000 probably.
Yeah, so the way that... and there's a story behind the Game Genie, but we don't really have time to cover
Game
that
Genie
right
was Codemasters, wasn't it?
It was Codemasters, yeah.
That's a tangent. That's
yeah.
maybe
Side
something we
quest,
could... If you're interested in us looking into the Game Genie a bit more, drop it in the comments.
Story. But anyway, what it was this thing that you plugged into a console and then you plugged the game into it. And what it did is it altered like what was happening from the cartridge to the console.
Yeah, it like rewrote the memory allocation.
Yeah. So what you do is you'd enter a code.
Yeah.
And that code would then modify a certain element of the game.
Yeah.
And in this one, it was just a simple colour to make Mortal Kombat bloody on the SNES.
Bloody-ish.
Bloody-ish, yeah. But visually, it was still, like, the animation was better. It was just crisper.
Yeah.
And then we've got the Game Boy version.
Oh, no. That's the one I had. I remember playing that a lot because I was a poor child that didn't have a decent home version, sir. Because I was an Amiga owner at the time that Mortal Kombat came. I had an Amiga and I had a Game Boy, and all the home console ports for the Super Nintendo and the Mega Drive, they were out. The Amiga version was still in development and didn't come out till like a year later.
Oh yeah, it took a while.
So because I really wanted a Mortal Kombat, I went and got the Game Boy version, and I powered through the instant feeling of disappointment.
Now, to be fair, right, at the time, it's one of those things where you look back and you go, yeah, it was terrible.
Yeah.
But at the time experiencing it, you're like, oh, well, this is not bad because it's a Game Boy, right? You know, basically two colours.
I think when you're a kid, you're more forgiving than you are as an adult because you just did, particularly a kid in the 90s where we had what we got and we didn't you didn't have like internet or anything like that to go and look at what everyone else was playing at the time. And it was just like your little ecosystem. You're like, it's fine. I'm all right with this. This is the best thing in the world. I'm not sad at all.
Yeah. And then, so I replayed the Game Boy a couple of weeks ago. The Game Boy version.
Good, is it?
Oh, it's terrible. So, right, a couple of things about the Game Boy version. Right, number one, obviously, two color. Well, I say two color.
Monochrome.
Yeah, monochrome. Right?
Yeah.
But only 6 characters.
Yeah.
Rather than 7. No Johnny Cage.
Yeah, it's Johnny Cage that they missed. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't know why.
Yeah.
But there was no blood.
No.
And it was slow and
it was
unresponsive.
Really slow.
And graphically, I'm not gonna lie, I could draw you like Mortal Kombat better than appeared on that, and I can't. I draw stick people like that's your benchmark.
Yeah, I mean, I've got the Mortal Kombat collection on Switch, and I played the Game Boy version on that, and I was like, oh, this is really not good. But what I did then go and play was the Game Boy version of Mortal Kombat 2, which was actually really good.
Yeah,
surprisingly good. Actually, they kind of, I think with what happened with the first game, they tried to make like as close as they could to an arcade version of it. They dialed into the strengths of the Game Boy with the second game and made a really good port. And then I think it was all downhill from there because I think Mortal Kombat 3 on the Game Boy Color was terrible, and I think Mortal Kombat 4 on the Game Boy Advance was pretty poor as well.
Didn't play those,
but yeah.
Manic. Do you want some facts?
Go on then, hit me with
Here's
some facts.
some facts. So,
don't hit me too hard that you have to do a fatality, but do hit me with some facts.
Fact number 1. Okay. There was a film released that same year.
Films. Okay.
Right.
1992?
1992, yeah.
Yeah.
It had epic levels of violence against individuals. So obviously Mortal Kombat, violent video game, right? You see, your brain is going like, which films came out in 1992? I think you could select 100 films and you'd never guess this one. Yeah, Home Alone 2.
What a combination, Mortal Kombat and Home Alone 2.
What a time to be alive.
What a time to be alive.
Time to be alive. So, I talked about Acclaim.
Yes.
It was developed in 10 months. 10 months by like 4 people.
It's crazy. It is crazy.
Like
it is.
Bonkers, isn't it? And do you know what? That doesn't include the actors.
Yeah.
But
the actors were just their mates, weren't they? I think the only
basically.
I think the only person that they hired in was the actress that played Sonya Blade, because she was added after they'd done the initial batch of development. She wasn't originally in the lineup, and then once they got like the prototype tested, they added another character, and they added Sonya, which I think is why she feels like she's slightly different. I always felt that Sonya felt slightly differently animated to the rest of the characters. I think they knew what they were doing a bit more when they did Sonya. But yeah, it's crazy. And again, going back to that Mortal Kombat collection, there's a lot of documentary stuff on there, which is really interesting to watch because it's got a lot of behind the scenes of them actually doing the filming and putting the game together.
Like a high-8 camera.
Yeah, they were just kind of making it up as they went along. They didn't. I think Midway had already got the technology in place. I think from NARC to do kind of video capture, and I think they enhanced it slightly for Mortal Kombat to make the workflow a little bit easier. But yeah, they were. But yeah, you say like 9 months for development, 10 months for development. They were working on that game like 24/7.
Oh,
when you see kind of like the culture there. So yeah, it was Ed Boon. I don't even think it was Crunch. I think that was just what they were doing. They were just 4 guys who didn't really do anything else other than make video games.
And I think, well, that's like you look at the game industry now, and crunch is like obviously a thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, back then, like small studios, just a group of people just trying to get this game out to deadlines. And the deadlines were, really, really tight.
Yeah.
And they were pushing the boundary of what was kind of possible. So, some of the and I've got to write. Here's some mind-blowing ones, right? It was one of the highest-grossing arcade games, right, in 1993.
Yeah.
It was only beaten by NBA Jam, which was an awesome game on the
Another
SNES.
Midway game.
Yeah. But
they used digitized graphics.
Oh, did it?
I think NBA Jam was digitized graphics.
Oh.
I think so.
Watch this space. But it made more money in that year than the theatrical release of Jurassic Park.
Really?
US. Yeah,
that's insane.
Made over 300 million £300 million.
Wow.
Yeah, which is like Power of Arcades. Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is probably one of my favourite facts about Mortal Kombat, right? And it's just weird. When it was released in Japan, it was called Mortal Kombat: Legend of the Advent God Fist. Just like, what a beautiful name. Gotta love it.
I'm not sure where that fits into the game itself, but yeah.
No, but it sounds ace.
Sounds excellent.
I want to play that game.
That sounds like an anime I want to watch.
Exactly, yeah.
Make that anime. I want to see Mortal Kombat Legend Advent of the...
Legend of the Advent God Fist.
Okay.
Yeah, which is brilliant.
Yeah.
But do you know you're talking about palette changes?
Yes.
Right, and Easter eggs and hidden characters.
Yes. Yeah.
So what they kind of did is there's 2 characters, Scorpion, Sub-Zero, who look identical, except for the fact that their clothes are just different colours.
Yeah.
So basically, what they did is just a palette swap.
Yeah.
But that's like become a Mortal Kombat theme, hasn't it?
Yes, like the ninja characters are like, although not quite so much in the new ones because they've changed their costumes around because it's all 3D now.
They've got time and effort and money and loads more people. But what they had is a hidden character called Reptile. Who was green. So Scorpion yellow, Sub-Zero blue, Reptile green. But you could only you had to beat him on probably my favourite level, the pit.
It was the bottom of the pit as well,
the
wasn't
bottom
it?
of the pit where you fought. So what you do is the pit is basically you're on a bridge. And you fight somebody, but it was the only level where you didn't have to do the character's fatality to get a fatality.
Oh yeah, you could just
uppercut them. And they go and fall
Yeah.
down into a load of spikes, load of blood.
Yeah.
You know, wholesome wholesome entertainment.
Wholesome entertainment. One to tell your parents about.
Yeah,
say,
guess what I did while we're eating lunch?
Yeah. I punched a man onto some spikes today.
Yeah, better than saying I punched through his chest and pulled his heart. He's still.
I don't know. Is it though? Is it?
Swings around about.
Yeah.
But Reptile, you could only get him when you were you're fighting on the pit. If you saw his shadow in the moon, then you had to get 2 flawless victories and a fatality, and then you could fight him.
Yeah. Really high character. Didn't he have both Scorpion and Sub-Zero's movesets in that original game? Yeah. But then they brought him into the second game as a main character.
Yeah, and he had his own like acid spit and stuff like that.
Yeah. But I think that's the joy of thinking about these old games. Is like, you know, you can sort of say, oh, it's like the you know, like rose tinted specs or something like that. But I think it's important to sort of like have these memories of games like this, because they're not easy games. A lot of these older games, as we kind of like talked in previous videos, aren't that easy to get hold of and play these days. I mean, I think we've got the Mortal Kombat collection, which has pretty much every version of these other games. I don't know if you found any other ways of playing like Mortal Kombat.
No.
Have I stolen your notes?
No,
okay,
cool. Like the short answer is like no.
Yeah.
Because, like you say, like games preservation is like a really massive thing at the moment. Because you know a lot of them physically, well, you can buy them from like loads of places. You know, car boot sales, CEX, like you know, eBay, Amazon, wherever. But digitally, it's almost on a whim. Like licensing agreements and stuff like that. So it'll be there for a little bit and then it's like, it's gone. And then you kind of miss your chance. So, it's really difficult. Certainly, I'd always say like a lot of the time when they do conversions, they do keep some of the like the quirkiness of it. And then sometimes they just don't. They're like, oh, I'm going to fix that. And you're like, oh, but that was my favourite thing about it.
Well, I can really recommend the Mortal Kombat collection. I know, in fact, there it is. So, by the magic of editing, we've decided.
Where did that come from?
So, this is actually, I really love this. I've got it on Switch too. It is available on all consoles and PC, digitally and physically. But you get Mortal Kombat 2, Mortal Kombat 3, Mortal Kombat 4, and multiple versions of it on the one copy of the game. So, you get the arcade versions of all of them. And you get the home versions. You get the SNES, the Mega Drive, Game Boy, and I think Game Gear versions, where appropriate, of
Game Gear version was missing like Reptile and Kano.
Yeah.
But you could unlock the blood.
Yes. And they're all playable, and it's really interesting kind of going through it. And like I say, there's this documentary on it. This is the work that Digital Eclipse is doing, kind of talking about game preservation. I think is really important, and we're going to talk about them again in another video that we're going to do in this series that we're looking at. But they've done some really interesting videos. They kind of started off, one of the earliest things that I remember getting of theirs was the Street Fighter Anniversary Collection, which was like various multiple different arcade versions of Street Fighter, Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 3 and Street Fighter Alpha in one collection. And they've kind of taken it out from that. And the big thing they do now are these documentaries that go along with it. And they are fascinating watches. You know, you've got hours worth of newly shot interviews, archive materials, like design documents that they've digitized and stuff. And it's all done in this little timeline that you can follow along. So you can kind of go from like, you know, the genesis and the idea of this thing, like to release, looking at adverts and things like that. Really, really cool stuff.
It's
definitely worth picking up. And it is really, I think, the only way that you can play Mortal Kombat these days, and particularly the Mega Drive version of Mortal Kombat, which is what we've been kind of dipping into. Yeah.
Who was your favourite character?
Who was my favourite character? I think it was probably Scorpion or Raiden, because they were the easiest ones.
I was either Liu Kang or Scorpion.
Or Sub-Zero. I quite like Sub-Zero.
He was probably... because you know... I remember playing against you and you'd always like freeze me and I'd be like, no! freeze, uppercut, freeze.
Yeah,
uppercut,
well, you
sweep
know.
the leg, sweep. The annoying thing, the great thing about Raiden is he had a teleport.
Yeah.
But if you timed it right, you could leg sweep him.
You could leg sweep him out the teleport, yeah.
Oh,
but he also had the little...
Oh, yeah, like...
flying across the screen.
Yeah. Yeah, Raiden was all right. But he is like a... I watched Big Trouble in Little China last year, and he is basically that's...
I love Big Trouble in Little China.
It's a great film, isn't it?
Mortal Kombat really is a snapshot of my youth.
What, beating the living daylights out of people?
That's
and then,
right, yeah.
Yeah,
No, just like a lot of the pop culture stuff that I really enjoyed as a kid and as a teen. I think it's kind of almost diluted into Mortal Kombat. There's just a lot... going back again, it's a simple game compared to something like Street Fighter 2. But I think it's almost got a more immediate vibe. Street Fighter 2, you got like world characters, you're jetting around the world. Mortal Kombat feels like it's got a story behind it. It feels like there's a narrative that's pushing it along. And I think that was always the intention of, Ed Boon and John Tobias when they were designing this game, was to kind of have that. So I think that's possibly why, out of both Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat, I would go for Street Fighter 2 over Mortal Kombat for a pure gameplay. Mortal Kombat stuck with me more, I think.
I do like when you say about the story. If you complete it, it sort of gives you a bit of closure on each of the characters, doesn't it? Yeah, which is always kind of good. But a lot of what you just said, like there's going to be some psychologists watching this going, "Mate, here's a phone number. You need to ring somebody. You need to talk about some of these things."
So yeah, that was Mortal Kombat. Thanks for watching, as always. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, all the usual YouTube stuff, because if you don't do that, apparently the algorithm won't know we exist.
Be like, who are these guys?
Yeah, they will. It's like, it feels like we're going, please, sir, please, could you do these things for us?
We just want your attention.
Yeah. But anyway, thanks very much for watching. We will see you next time on the games we played.
See you soon.